Emergency teams in 6 US states are continuing to search for survivors after one of the most devastating tornado events in US history. At least 90 people are now known to have died in the state of Kentucky alone. G7 foreign ministers have warned Iran that time is running out to save the nuclear deal with the international community. Negotiators are trying to revive the agreement, which lifted sanctions in return for limits on Tehran's nuclear ambitions. Voters in the Pacific territory of New Caledonia have overwhelmingly rejected independence from France in a third and final referendum. The French President Emmanuel Macron has welcomed the result in a televised address. In one of the most exciting finishes ever to the Formula One season, Max Verstappen has won the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix and the World Championship. He snatched victory from his rival, Lewis Hamilton, in the last lap.
Residents of New Caledonia have voted overwhelmingly in favor of remaining a French overseas territory. Sunday's third and last referendum on independence was soundly rejected by more than 96% of residents. But pro-independence leaders are refusing to accept the result. The South Pacific Territory's pro-independence group boycotted the ballot. It cited a lack of preparation amid the coronavirus pandemic. New Caledonia is an archipelago off the east coast of Australia with a population of about 270,000. It became a French colony in the 19th century. Social divides between rich and poor have fueled independence movements, which are mainly supported by indigenous Kanaks. French President Emmanuel Macron welcomed the result.
France is more beautiful, as New Caledonia has decided to stay.
New Caledonia has substantial nickel resources, and it plays an important role in France's Indo-Pacific strategy by hosting a French military base. China has been strengthening ties with nearby countries. A vote for independence could have helped Beijing increase its presence in the region. Deadly tornadoes have left a trail of destruction in Kentucky and 5 other U.S. states. Authorities are still trying to determine the extent of the damage, and rescue operations are underway.
Large tornado, lots of debris in the air.
The U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says the tornadoes tore through the region from Friday night through Saturday. A tornado destroyed a candle factory in Kentucky with about 110 workers inside. 40 people have been rescued. The state's governor, Andy Beshear, said it would be a miracle if anyone else is found alive in the debris. Beshear has declared a state of emergency.
I'm now certain that that number is north of 70. It may, in fact, end up exceeding 100 before the day is done.
A warehouse in Illinois, operated by online retail giant Amazon, was heavily damaged. At least 6 people have been confirmed dead at the site. Amazon says it does not know how many workers are still missing. The chief of staff of the Tennessee Emergency Management Agency says roughly 63,000 people are without electricity. Casualties have also been reported in the state. President Joe Biden said the tornadoes were among the largest in U.S. history.
I want to emphasize what I told all the governors. The federal government will do everything it can possibly do to help.
Biden also said federal agencies in charge of emergency management are already providing support in the affected areas. Iowa State University professor William Gallas says 2 to 4 tornadoes moved at high speeds for a long period of time. They caused extensive damage across a wide area.
There were probably 2 or 3, maybe even 4 tornadoes on the ground in different states. It's likely to be the deadliest tornado outbreak that has ever happened in December in the entire history of the United States.
The U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says tornadoes occur most frequently between April and June. They strike least often between November and February. Gallas says warm, damp air blowing in from the south created unusually high humidity for December that gave rise to the unstable conditions.
One thing we do know, with climate change, we should start seeing tornadoes more in the times of year where we didn't have tornadoes. We may start having more big tornadoes happen in months like December or January or February.
He says these tornadoes did more damage because they developed at night. Japanese Foreign Minister Hayashi Yoshimasa has called for close cooperation among the group of 7 nations on issues involving North Korea. Pyongyang was a key topic of discussion at the G7 foreign ministers meeting, which opened on Saturday in the British city of Liverpool. Hayashi stressed the importance of sticking to the goal of achieving complete, verifiable, and irreversible denuclearization of the North's weapons of mass destruction and ballistic missiles of all ranges. Hayashi also asked for understanding and full cooperation from G7 nations to solve the issue of Japanese nationals who were abducted by North Korea. Member countries supported Japan's stance. Iran's nuclear deal was also on the agenda. The participants agreed that Tehran should speed up indirect talks with the United States to revive the 2015 agreement instead of increasing its nuclear activities. A father who lost his 12-year-old daughter in the 2011 tsunami that devastated northeastern Japan has spoken to foreign students about disaster preparedness. Suzuki Noriyuki's daughter was one of dozens of children killed by the tsunami at Okawa Elementary School in Ishinomaki City, Miyagi Prefecture. About 20 foreign students and others from Ishinomaki Senshu University visited the school to learn about disaster preparedness. Suzuki told them about how people spent days after the tsunami digging up the bodies of children buried in the mud.
Unfortunately, 10 teachers and 74 children died. When a tsunami comes, you will die unless you run away. Please don't die.
I felt a great sense of tragedy when I visited the site. I want to survive, so I will definitely flee immediately if there's a tsunami.
Suzuki also urged the participants to be aware of what kinds of disasters can strike their regions and be prepared to evacuate. Families have enjoyed painting with discarded cosmetics at an event to promote the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The organizers of the SDG project are Chiba University Student Group and Keio Bank in Chiba City near Tokyo. The participants at Saturday's event diluted the cosmetics with a special solution to make paints of various colors. They colored in the line drawings with brushes.
I love the shiny colors. It's fun.
I think it's a great way to make good use of the leftover colors in cosmetic palettes.
A planner says she wants to hold more of these events to raise awareness about environmental issues. Western Japan's Matsue Castle got its traditional cleaning to prepare for the coming New Year festivities. The castle is a designated national treasure in Matsue City of Shimane Prefecture, located along the Sea of Japan coast. People removed dust from the castle walls and under its eaves using leaves on the end of long bamboo poles. They also wiped down the pillars, windows, and floors inside the building.
It's a national treasure. We hope tourists can enjoy it in clean condition.
The cleaning is taking place during the pandemic. We hope next year will be a good year.
About 100 people usually take part in the annual event. Some are from local volunteer groups, but the number was reduced to 40 this year due to coronavirus anti-infection measures.